Most real estate agents have no idea what it takes to make a great website. Most of the time, they're concerned about what the website actually looks like. Okay, you're always looking for what's aesthetically pleasing. Does my website look pretty? How nice are the colors? What's my brand color look like? Next thing that they're worried about is making sure that they are the center of attention on this website. You go onto the websites and it says, Susan is your real estate agent. She's been a real estate agent for the last 20 years, and she's sold X amount of homes yearly, on average sells millions of dollars of real estate annually. She's been so good. She's done this and she's this, and that's why you should choose her. But this is such a self-centered approach that the person who's actually visiting your website, who you hopefully is going to be a potential client, is going to get really bored of reading that instantly, because you're not speaking to them. You're not solving their problem. You're just speaking about yourself. And oftentimes, this is what you'll find on websites that at the end of the day drive sales to close deals, okay? You're building websites and you're spending tens of thousands of dollars, $5,000-$10,000 on these websites just to look pretty, just for it to be nice, where it doesn't actually close any deals for you. Now, the problem is nobody shows you how to go about structuring the framework of your website so that it can move a client that comes and visits the website down through the process, and eventually signing up with you or booking a call with you and then becoming a client. Okay? And there's a specific formula of how this works. Now, I want you to think about it this way. As soon as you land on a website, you need to be able to clearly convey exactly what it is that your offer is to your client. Now, if you've seen my other video where I talked about how to find your ideal client, if you haven't, go back and look at it. If you have, you'll know exactly what the avatar is of your ideal client. And with that in mind, you'll be able to make a one-sentence header on top of your website as soon as somebody lands on it, give them that offer where they know exactly, hey, this is who I need, right? And I want you to think about it this way. If your ideal client was young families into their first homes, if, for example, you're listing agent for, retiree people with, their children are gone, they want to downsize, you could say something like, downsizing doesn't need to be hard, so we do it for you. Are you following along? This is kind of what I want you to understand. It needs to be a short and sweet sentence where you're directly correlating the offer to your ideal client right off the bat. So then what this does psychologically is the person that's reading this says, oh, okay, yeah, well, you're speaking to me. Now, let me scroll down a little bit and let me start going through the process. And this is where you start bringing the person through that whole journey from visitor to website to actually closing deals and driving sales. Now, the next part on your website is where we paint negative stakes. Okay, and what I mean by this is you have to clearly identify the things that are keeping your client from living the ideal life that they want, from selling a house or buying a house. Okay, you have to paint the picture of their pain points. So if they do not engage with you, what's going to happen? They're going to keep being frustrated. Home prices are going to keep going up. They have difficulty finding the down deposit, and the prices are going to, or the down deposit requirements are going to increase. You just want to reiterate that if they do not do business with you, then they're going to continue having the same problems, okay? So that's the second part of the website. And now you got the customer and the client who's reading on your website engaged. Now, it's very important to understand that you want to keep these things very, very short. You want to keep the writing on your website to a minimum. And if you can think about times when you go to websites, how much are you just you go on your phone, you're scrolling. You're not even really reading what's happening until you find maybe to the end of the page where something's kind of interesting. You scan, and then you're off, okay? So it's very important to keep it short and sweet and get to the points one at a time, okay? Now, the next part on your website is what you're going to want to do is my mentor, Don Miller, who actually taught me all these frameworks and how to wireframe a website properly at Business Made Simple, showed me that you always have to show your client a value proposition. Now, this is important. Why? Because after that you show them that if they do not buy the product or the service that you're offering, their life will continue going on as it was, prior to coming to your website, which wasn't probably really fun because they have a problem, right? Now this is the part where you get to solve that problem and you get to put in place what their life will actually look like after they do business with you. So as a real estate agent, you could, for example, put the first value proposition of we take care of all your marketing and staging. Okay, and short and sweet, we do that for you. I have the team. You don't have to worry about that. Next would be from A to Z, we make a smooth transition and we have all of the professionals in place where you don't have to go looking for anybody, right? You can have the inspectors, you can have the notary, the lawyers, the contractors if they're needed. You can show that, hey, don't worry about it. I have this to give to you, all right? And at the end of it, the last one could be, last one or two, you decide, but you could be saying how after doing business with me, I will get you fair market value for your property, right? If you're a listing agent, I will get you fair market value for your property. You have to showcase the value that you will be bringing to this client. Now, the person who is reading your website has an idea of when they do business with you, well, this is what I'm going to be getting, right? As opposed to just, hey, I'm a real estate agent in the area and I know what the market's like, sign up with me. No, I'm showing you what I'm going to be offering you, okay? And this is what you're going to get. Now, this is the next part of this sequence is going to be where you get to talk about yourself. And you remember at the beginning, I was saying how, you scroll through a real estate agent's page and the first thing is, oh, I've been in the industry for 15 years and I've done X amount of deals and I know the market better than anybody else, right? Like it's so generic that it doesn't stand out. But now, this is the little part that I'm going to allow you to go ahead and talk about yourself, okay? Now, make sure you don't drag this on. You don't want to be talking forever about yourself. You just want to show that you have some authority, right? You could either throw in a testimonial there, or you can just talk about your accolades and things that you've done. But keep it short and sweet, just a small little paragraph, 3 or 4 sentences, just so the person reading knows that you have a little bit of credibility, okay? So try not to make this up. This is for you if you're showcasing your talents. This is not for you to go and say, hey, and just make things up as along and you're lying to your customers. That's not what I'm trying to incentivize you to do. I'm just telling you, this is a spot where you get to, brag a little bit about yourself. It's okay. I mean, you did good, so say it, right? Now, last part. This is kind of like the plan and call to action, very important. The plan that you want to give after you brought this customer through this, they stayed on your website longer than usual because you got a really good website now, right? So you got them through and you invited them into a story and they're like, okay, all right, I understand, cool. All right, now what? Well, at the end, you want to make sure that you give the client or the person that's on your website, you want to give them a plan or a call to action, right? And it's better to do both, but you can do either or. But you need to make sure that you give them a step-by-step process of what you now need them to do or how to go about getting in contact with you or doing business with you or buying a product from you. Okay? It's important because psychologically, the behavior of the human psychological behavior is that we like to be led. And if you're not telling me or the customer to do something, there's a high probability that the person will not do something, okay? So if you tell them, hey, it's super easy, just book a call, it's free, and we'll discuss a customized plan that we can work on together to sell your house. Or click the link below and book a free consultation, or, click now and call me, right? Or send an email now. You just want to make sure that you clearly communicate what it is that you want that potential client to do, how to do it, so they take action and actually call you or book a call with you or do something that you want them to do where it's helping them, okay? Because if you don't, you leave them kind of hanging and you don't tell them what to do, they could have went through that whole process. You brought them the whole 95%, you brought them all 95 yards, and you at the finish line, you have 5 yards to go, and you just left them high and dry without telling them how to contact you or what to do next. And they just, off to the next now. You just lost a potential sale. So always make sure that you give them a plan at the end, a call to action, and then hopefully you're able to sign a contract and close a deal with them. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please let me know if you enjoyed it. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments, like the video if it was helpful. And if you guys want, I'm doing a free estimation or review rather of your website. You can just click on the link below. Send me your website link. I'll do a short 5 to 10 minute review of your website and things to change. Absolutely free. You can get that done, okay? So just click on the link below if you want that, and I'll get that over to you as soon as possible. All right, guys, see you next time.